okay, now there's numerous articles on this. Here's one from USA Today. If you haven't heard about Project 2025, you got to go research this. What is Project 2025? The Presidential Transition Project Explained. Now, this is from June 10th, 2024 from USA Today. This deals with giving more power to the president. This deals with getting rid of the Department of Education. This deals with the nationwide ban on abortion. This deals with weaponizing the Department of Justice as well. I mean, this stuff is deep. This deals with politicizing federal employees and getting rid of thousands of federal employees and implementing a loyalty pledge as well to be a federal employee. What is Project 2025? The Presidential Transition Project Explained. This is from the USA Today. The detailed plan to dismantle and reconstruct the government laid out by conservative groups known as the 2025 Presidential Transition Project has critics up in arms over its apocalyptic and authoritarian nature. The Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C., led an effort to create the more than 900-page Mandate for Leadership published in April 2023. So this is the type of planning these people are doing. Reimagining the executive branch and presented a plan to overhaul several government agencies, including the FBI, for the country's next conservative president to follow. Now, the Heritage Foundation did something similar in 1980 with their Mandate for Leadership. And and that was a book in 1980 that contained 2,000 policies they wanted the Reagan administration to adopt. The Reagan administration adopted 60% of those policies in the first administration of Ronald Reagan. And these were a lot of anti-African-American policies. These policies calling for smaller government, attacking poverty programs, all different types of negative things like this. According to the project's website, the playbook provides a governing agenda and a lineup of people ready to implement it to, quote, rescue the country from the grip of the radical left. Rescue the country from the grip of the radical left. It includes a domestic and foreign policy agenda, a list of personnel, training, and a 180-day playbook. Read the rest of this here. Dealing with Project 2025. Okay. There are numerous articles on this, and this is one from Newsweek.com. Now, this is the Republican National Committee chair. This is Michael Steele, who's African American, and he's confronting. So on the weekend on MSNBC, co-hosted by Michael Steele, they just had the guy who's the head of the Heritage Foundation on the show. They had him on this weekend. It was Saturday. They had him on Saturday, June 22nd. Ex-RNC chair confronts Republican on Project 2025 plan to gut government, 2024. Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, confronted Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, on Saturday over Project 2025, a plan that includes firing up to 50,000 federal government workers. A plan that includes firing up to 50,000 federal government workers. Now, African Americans make up 18.4% of the 370,000 federal employees. So when you talk about firing 50,000 federal government workers, you're talking about firing a lot of African Americans. In August 2023, conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, in collaboration with other right-leaning groups, published its Project 2025. According to its official website, the project aims to pave the way for an effective conservative administration by using a policy agenda, personnel, training and a 180-day playbook should the GOP win the 2024 election, should Donald Trump win. This is what they're saying. Proposals include reintroducing legislation making it easier to fire federal employees, prosecution for distributing abortion pills by mail, and abolishing recently established diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives at the Department of Defense. However, one of the most significant proposals is a plan to reintroduce Schedule F, a Trump-era executive order rescinded by President Joe Biden. Okay, research Schedule F, the Schedule F employees, rescinded by President Joe Biden, that would see tens of thousands of federal workers reclassified, making them easier to fire. Once again, African Americans are 18.4% of federal employees. While the Trump campaign has previously said outside groups do not speak for the former president, Project 2025's 1,000-page proposal was drafted with input from a long list of former Trump administration officials who are poised to fill top ranks of a potential new administration, according to the Associated Press. Newsweek has reached out to Trump's campaign via email for comment. Now, during Saturday's MSNBC's The Weekend, former RNC chair Michael Steele, who is African American and the co-host of the program, he discussed the specific proposal of replacing federal workers, asking Kevin Roberts, a Republican and the head of the Heritage Foundation, about who will be replacing them. Quote, talk to us about what that looks like if Heritage is calling for removing 50,000 federal employees. Who are you replacing them with, and where do they come from? I suspect a lot of those people you are talking about have been in the federal service for a long time and served not just Republican administrations, but also Democratic administrations, Michael Steele said. Kevin Roberts mentioned political contributions as he claimed federal workers contribute to the Democratic Party. See, what they want to do is they want to go through and weed out federal employees, and they only want federal employees who will be loyal to Donald Trump. And that's not how federal employees work. Federal employees are not loyal to a president. They are employees that serve the country. They stay there for 20, 30, 40 years. They serve many presidents. They're not there to serve a president. What I mean is they serve under many presidents. They're not there to serve a president. They're there to serve the country, but they work under many presidential administrations. They're not there to be loyal to one person. That's not how this works. Quote, they have, and 95% of them who give political contributions give them to the Democratic Party. Kevin Roberts said, the head of the Heritage Foundation, they can donate to whoever they want to. You can be a federal employee and make political donations. You have a right to do that. However, Michael Steele interjected and asked, quote, so you're going to fire someone because they wrote a check to a Democratic candidate? Kevin Roberts continued by doubling down on the efforts to replace civil servants, calling them unelected bureaucrats. Quote, now we're going to fire someone. He said, no, quote, no, we're going to fire someone, and the number needs to be more than 50,000 people, considering there are more than 2 million federal employees, because of over the last century, the radical left has seen the administration state as the fourth branch of government. They're unelected bureaucrats, but ultimately we have to devolve power from the imperial city of Washington back to the people. You listen to this guy. This guy sounds crazy as hell. Go to MSNBC.com. Go to The Weekend, watch the interview that they did, that the TV, not the pop artist, The Weeknd, not him, the political show on MSNBC, The Weeknd, okay, with Michael Steele and Simone and Menendez. Okay, go watch that. They interviewed Kevin Roberts Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. This dude sounds like a Trump bobblehead, full of conspiracy theories. And he's the head of the Heritage Foundation. This is the organization that created Project 2025. Not only that, the 226 federal judges that Donald Trump got confirmed, and the 3 Supreme Court judges, those judges came from lists submitted to him from the Heritage Foundation and the Federalist Society. Go research that. Okay, read the rest of this article here. This is how deep this is. Your understanding of politics is directly related to your understanding of history, because they both intersect. And when we study history from 1800 through 1970, and we're going to end in 1971 with Richard Nixon declaring his war on drugs after he ran for president in 1968 and won in 1968, and he won on the platform of law and order, which basically means lock up black people, protect white people. And he ran on a backlash to the civil rights movement, the Black Power movement, the rebellions taking place across the country, attacking the anti-poverty programs that the Great Society programs from President Johnson. He attacked a lot of those programs as well. Okay. So so how do you all like this type of information? Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a like. This is a very, very timely class, and this helps you to better understand what's taking place in the country right now, dealing with politics, news, events, people reclaiming the Confederacy. We just did a story on Roland Martin Unfiltered where 2 schools in Virginia just voted to rename the schools after Confederate heroes, because they changed the names of the schools in 2020 when you had a racial reckoning taking place in this country because of the killing of George Floyd. Now you see a recalibration. Now you see people trying to go back to the way it was because they want to hold on to white supremacy. You have a lot of people that want to hold on to the Confederacy. We're going to deal with the Confederacy in the class, but nations don't name schools and don't have monuments honoring traitors to that nation. The Confederacy, these were traitors who committed treason based upon Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution defines treason, and they committed treason based upon Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution. Okay, so if you go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, scroll down the page, we have the information right at the top of the page. Black resistance movements, Christopher Columbus, the Haitian Revolution, and the Black Power movement, 1492 to 1968. Next class, July 21st, 2024, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Classes on sale right now, $80, regularly $130. Click right here to register here for the full course. You can join us live for the class or watch classes on demand. Okay, join us live for the class or watch classes on demand. Click right here for a course bundle, so because you'll get both classes, which includes the first course that I teach, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And we have class number 1 starting up Saturday, July 20th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding Transatlantic Slave Trade, where they did teach you at school. So that class is on sale, $80 also. All right. And this content is PG